March the 20th. Oh, hey. Hello. I'm the A Train. Hey, Meta's down.
Apparently, so is our network. But thank God it's really hard owning your own network.
Damn, when the beat go, I felt that. Hey, ooh, hey, ooh, yeah. Pull up to the zoo and then
What's up, y'all?
Because Meta's down, we can't figure out what we're doing here today. I don't know, Arlington. What's up, bro?
Good morning. Yeah, that's something we don't usually say, but good morning to you all.
My God, the afternoon delight is back.
You got your breakfast tacos. You got
your breakfast tacos. You got all of your stuff. Arlington, can you believe that we are back, bro?
Yeah. And
Huh?
thanks, Meta. Thanks a lot.
Meta. We love you.
Thanks a lot.
What's up, Will? Oh, you can find us on YouTube and Twitter and all of that stuff.
But you can also go to our TV network, too.
Yeah, you can also go to our TV network on Roku and Fire Stick. What's up, Sandy? So Arlington. Training camp is underway.
Wait, before we do, we got to make sure we give thanks to our good friends over at Gateway City Sports.
That's true. We are powered by Gateway City Sports. I forgot about that.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Well, yeah.
Oh, Arlington. Arlington, you forgot.
What's that?
We are also sponsored by these guys. And as you see, one of our great sponsors, Wild Sun Winery and Brewing Company. Pretty good, cool commercial, ain't it, Arlington? I stole it off their website.
So that means when we start having this show, and say, "Hey, let's take a break." Boom.
We have a commercial to take a break with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you to our good friends at Wild Sun.
So, a lot of stuff going on in the UFL world today. Not really.
Scrimmages are happening. Scrimmages are happening. I got a good report from Luke Miller over at the State of the Stallions. He said that at the end of the week, the Birmingham Stallions and the St. Louis Battlehawks will be facing off in a scrimmage.
Correct.
Will be interesting to see how well that plays out. So good look for our friend Luke Miller over at Newsroom and the podcast State of the Stallions.
Yes. And Arlington, it's really going to be interesting to see how this all plays out now. Yes, Sandy, everybody's locked out of Facebook. So, but that's why we have our own TV network. So we don't have to worry about that BS anymore, which you can find on Roku and Fire Stick TV. Search Fuel Sports Network, and you can find it because we're live right now.
I'm just feeling good right now, man.
I am too. Because, literally, Arlington, what are we, 3 weeks away? 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away from the kickoff in Arlington.
25 days.
25 days with the Arlington and the Birmingham Stallions, the defending XFL, USFL champs right there. playoff to see who is the king of spring football. But here's the real question, Arlington.
Yes.
Is that game going to determine who is the real king of spring football? Because we have 10 weeks of football to determine the real king. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. Exactly.
So, I mean, does the game, in my opinion, and you just tell me, Arlington, in my opinion, the game, I don't think the game really matters other than bragging rights for the champs.
At least for the time being, sir. But I think as the season progresses, because here's the thing, I think the level of competition is going to be heightened compared to what it was in the past 2 years. You know, when you had the XFL and then when you had the USFL, excuse me. It's going to be heightened a little bit. I get it. These guys are going to all learn and be playing with each other, but they know each other from either competing against each other or playing with each other. So that's going to be the key thing. The whole day, I think it's going to be very competitive. So that's going with the opening game between Birmingham uh, and Arlington, and then of course St. Louis and Michigan right after that, and then I think it was at Houston and San Antonio we seen after that game.
DC and the Brahmas, and then the Showboats in Houston. There's your schedule.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, there's your schedule.
Look at the schedule one time, sir. There it is. DC and San Antonio, Memphis, and Houston. So yeah, absolutely. I just think the competition is going to be high. You should not be. No.
Look, I mean, Sandy says right here, she goes, it's the season opener. I mean, if you really look at it, it's this USFL and XFL fan bases have been very, very toxic with each other, right? And kind of that's what Fuel is about, is to bring all of these fan bases around, even though some people don't agree with it. But we are a Fuel. We are fans united, experiencing a legion because we all move as one.
Stop. Say that again so the fans can hear you.
What are you talking about? Which part?
What is Fuel?
What is Fuel? Fuel is Fans United Experience Legion. We are the fuel behind our teams. As a legion, we move as one. So it's about supporting all of these teams, really, is what it is. Oh, and by the way, as you guys see, Arlington, you notice my name changed. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I saw that, Spurge.
My name changed. Well, Arlington, they said I had to be a little more professional now that we own a TV network.
Spurge.
So Spurge was my nickname in high school and stuff like that. So I said, forget dirty. Let's go with Spurge.
Spurge.
Yeah, I know. It's an old nickname. But anyways, back to what I was saying. I mean, and here's the thing. Even if you watch the videos and the promos that they're all putting out where Rock and Danny is, in my opinion, they are still causing a division by calling this the USFL conference and the XFL conference.
I have nothing wrong with that.
I have nothing wrong with it, but why cause the division? It's about uniting these fan bases.
But here's the thing. I think it's more about the level of competition here and determining who is the better conference in this case. And there's nothing dividing about that. I know it can get looked at that way, but it's for bringing the two leagues and bringing them together as one. See, they were not trying to think of it's dividing the fan bases. They were thinking more on the lines of, hey, we bring the two biggest spring leagues and put them together. But guess what? It gives the fans the opportunity to rock with the conference that they think is best.
Look, and I get it. Like right here, Gemini 5G says, we're together, but I rock the XFL conference. The league must survive. Exactly. The league must survive. He goes, it has nothing to do with Rock and Danny. We were always like this. The division was already there. And I get it. Yes, Jersey. Thank God for Fuel Sports Network, because, Facebook and Instagram is down, but you could catch us on our Roku app. Just search Fuel Sports Network. You'll find us. Download it, please, and enjoy it, because constantly we are adding more and more content. Arlington, I got to give a big shout out to a new show, a new partnership that we just had called Talking Tigers. It's a local show right here in the Missouri area, right over in DuPont, Illinois, and they talk about the DuPont Tigers and all of that stuff, and they talk about the sports in the St. Louis area, but they focus on high school for the DuPont Tigers high school. So welcome to Talking Tigers, to being aboard. So check their out. They're up there on the page, so go check them out too. They have a show where they just talked to Megan Brown, a big, a soccer player there in DuPont that made it big. So their interview is up there with her, and they'll have more content coming up too. So make sure you tune in and check those guys out. And listen, I get it. Arlington, put back up the one thing from, where is it? Gemini. Hey, what's up, Hyena? I just saw her. Jersey, we're doing good. Right here. I understand that the division was already there, but now it's time, as what Fuel stands for, Fans United Experience Legion, it's time for us fans to unite as one on this and unite as one league and stuff. Like I'd have been okay. I get why they named the conferences the way they did it, but for me, it still looks like they're trying to do the division of the conferences, of the fan bases, instead of bringing them together. That's just my opinion. And as you see on our disclaimer, not all these opinions view so please don't sue us. That's just my opinion. I mean, am I wrong or am I right? I mean,
no, you're not wrong to have that opinion about it. But here's the thing. The point of the conferences is for competition levels. We want to see the best of the best against the best of the best. You know what I mean? And they're bringing in guys that play from teams that are no longer a part of both the XFL and USFL, and it seems like they're bringing stronger squads now to the table, which elevates the level of competition. And because it elevates the level of competition, Spurge, that
that killed you to say that, didn't it?
It does.
That killed you to say that, didn't it?
Spurge. Because of that, it's not, like I said, it's not really to bring division, because you can cheer for whoever team you like. I get it. We're here to cheer for all the teams because we have to have the league survive. But guess what? Because they decided, hey, we're going to put Arlington, DC, San Antonio, St. Louis in one side, Birmingham, Houston, Michigan, and I always forget one team out in Memphis. Those four teams.
Hey man, don't forget Memphis, teams, dude.
You met Coach Flip. I know. Come on,
We're gonna be interviewing. We're gonna be interviewing. Cordell Lake and those guys today at 12.
I know.
Come on, what's wrong with you, man?
You're revealing too much. Shh. You're not supposed.
Oh, by the way, that's gonna be a special. You'll be able to watch that only exclusively on the Fuel Sports Network.
Yeah, we're supposed to get our because we had time. Let's talk about that a little bit, man. Even though we were supposed to have our clip, it didn't come in yet, and that's okay. We'll make sure that
you're right.
out there. It never
she hasn't gotten into us yet?
We haven't gotten to it yet. I'm not going to put her out there. So
okay. She's a very lovely woman.
She is, because she allowed us to be a part
very
of
sweet.
It. But we got a chance, myself and Dirty got a chance to interview Coach CJ Johnson and Mark Thompson, the running back.
Rocking the KC Monarchs hat, baby.
Yeah,
rocking
he was. The only thing that was, I guess, we had a bunch of questions. Me and Dirty found out later we had a bunch of questions for Coach Johnson, and it was so quick. I'm like, it probably you could count on your fingers.
You're right. Well, I mean, it was, and hey, and also a big thanks to Heather for over in Birmingham, who gave us gave Daddy Ed and then the opportunity to interview Skip Holtz.
Yeah.
In a media, and we played that last night on the
Bottom Line.
On the Bottom Line show, which I apologize to Brett and Daddy Ed. I messed up. I changed the background like an idiot. That was my fault. But that's dirty. I'm a moron. But so that was really cool interviewing Skip Holtz, which we're going to put that clip up, and that will only be a Fuel Sports Network special, to where you'll be able to watch that entire interview, watch that entire interview. Should we do the entire interview or just Daddy Ed's part?
Just put the entire interview out there.
So we'll just put the entire interview up, and that'll be coming. You just got to go
only exclusive to the network.
Only exclusive to our app and on our TV channel.
Only place you can find it. Okay.
And it'll be under Fuel Sports or Fuel Specials. That's hard to say, right?
Nobody calling you.
It'll eventually happen. But like Jersey says right here, do you think we'll get divisions within each conferences? I don't think so. Not for a while. Not
until we get like 8 teams in each league or each conference.
I'd say until we at least get 12 teams.
I won't even give it that. It's no point of having 3 teams per division.
That's true. You got a point.
No sense.
So
you got to have at least 4. So
okay,
16 teams is looking at that. But again, that's going to take time. It's going to have to progress down the line, and that's where we come in. Let it not be the fans' fault that this doesn't work. We do our part. That means the league has to do theirs. Okay. So if it's not on us, hey, you got to be cool with that at the end of the day. Okay.
Correct.
That's just being transparent with your fans. Wink, wink.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you have to understand, is that we are the people that's going to make this work. We are the ones that's going to at least be halfway. The league is going to do the other half. Okay. We do our part. They should be able to do theirs. And if they can't do that, then we move forward.
Yeah, and I mean, Arlington, you also got to look at it this way too, right? You have the certain markets, like right here, Amanda, the Hyena just said, the USFL posted this morning, what team would you wish could come back next season? Listen, I wish they would not have posted that, because let's let them get through this one full season.
But maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe, sir, there's a reason for that. Okay, let's not. Listen. I understand. We need to get through the season, and I've said that. I've been on that. But if anything has more positive outlooks, excuse me.
And here's the clip. Here's the thing she's talking about on Twitter. Okay. So go ahead, Arlington, while I pull it up. Go ahead. What were you? He's dying to death. What were you? Go ahead. Talk about what you were saying.
Yeah, I think anything positive, you want to put that out there. I don't think that's a problem.
And there it is.
Oh yeah. Oh, is that on Twitter?
Yeah, that's on the. That is courtesy of UFL Update.
Oh, okay. So no, it's not from the USF. It's not from the UFL themselves.
Well, I mean, but whatever.
I mean, it's always a good conversation to have.
Yeah. But I'm not big on. Me, I'm not big on let's talk about expansion, because
it's just for the sake
let's just get through this stuff.
Right.
Oh, my Arlington, I almost said the S word. Can you believe that? I kept it quiet, bro.
It's the daytime edition, sir. You gotta be
cool. Afternoon delight.
You gotta be cool, man. This is the daytime.
Oh, Arlington, it's been 18 minutes and we haven't taken a break. But hey, if you guys want to watch and see what our live TV schedule looks like, let me get to that, Arlington, shall I? Right here.
So let's take a quick break and we'll be back.
We're going to take a quick break.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, and play pretend. Came off
the And welcome back to the Expand show. That is our live TV schedule. There will be more added to that. As you notice, we didn't have Talking Tigers in there, which they'll be on Thursday nights at 6:30 Central Standard Time. So they'll be added to that. Arlington, right here, Jim and I says something. I'm worried about if this Houston name switch works. I mean, Are the Houston Roughnecks from the XFL side disposably switched to the USFL side and cheering for players they are not familiar with?
Interesting that you say
That's
that.
a very interesting question.
It's an interesting way that you said that, because all of the guys, or many of the players that were on the Houston Gamblers on the USFL, are now featured on the Roughneck side. But remember that petition that went around in Houston was about keeping the Houston Roughnecks name. Remember, you saw it. The Gamblers did not have an audience. They did not have a fan base to work with, because they were in a hub. A lot of people were talking about how hubs were bad for the USFL's case and the XFL's case, which I really did not see that with the XFL side, but that's a whole nother story. My thing is, now you have a team, San Antonio, the Brahmas, is basically players from all sides of the Houston, for many areas of the Houston Roughnecks, from the XFL side. So that's crazy. It's interesting how that was going to be played. But I think as long as you have a team, you're going to have a star. Houston Roughnecks got a good star in Mark Thompson. All right. And there are many other players as well that's going to provide greatness. I think they even messed around and got Chris Odom, if I'm not mistaken, the defensive player of the year. Am I not mistaken?
No. Oh yeah, for
Right.
the USFL side.
Houston, you have really not much to worry about. You have stars on your squad.
No.
Okay, and you can actually get behind them. The thing is that with Houston's case, everything has changed from the team to the venue, and so that was the curious case of what could they do for Houston. You know, something had to be sacrificed, and something had to be, and things had to change as the sacrifice was being made. So.
Yeah, you talk about the petition, which is led by Fuel and in our Houston chapter of Fuel in chapter.
Shout out to them, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and shout out to them if you guys were watching on our channel on Saturday with the Gridiron with Jersey and Arlington filling in for Gabe. You'd seen the Predator couple popped on there as they donated the check. They were leaving the facility where they donated the check for Hawks Houston Area Women's Center, where they donated the $2,500 check on behalf of Fuel and the Houston Roughneck fan base, which was great. I think that was great. And it was, you know, and again, it was Fuel. It was the fans united as a legion to push it to keep the Roughnecks name. Now, this is not the Roughnecks team. The Roughnecks team is right here where Mr. Herb Phillips goes, why are the Brahmas so low in the power ranking? I think they were a playoff contender. They weren't. They were close. They were third. But the San Antonio Brahmas are basically the Houston Roughnecks for what the XFL was last year. So, I mean, I don't know. I think because they're keeping the name Roughnecks, I think the fans will show up. They're doing very well on their ticket sales and all of that stuff. So I think that they will show out to support that team. And as you're going to see later when we get the video and we get it up on our channel, which will be another Fuel exclusive, you'll see our interview with Coach Johnson and Mark Thompson, where they talk about what they're going to do and how they're going to look at it and stuff like that. So I think people will show up for the Houston team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. Now, for the Brahmas, why are they so low? Arlington, you know, San Antonio has a special place in my heart. Right here's the flag. Right there. Has a very special place in my heart, right?
Right.
I think the reason why they're so low is because of their head coach.
But why? No.
What's up, Rig?
No.
Well, here, okay, let's pose the question to Rig, because Rig's on here. Rig is part of our Houston chapter of Fuel. You know, Rig, are you okay with the Houston just this new team being branded the Houston Roughnecks, but having gambler players? Rig, are you okay with that? Are you all right with that? So that's a guy right from Houston, you know, who is the Rig rocker right there. No, Arlington, come on. Well, okay,
So
go
you
ahead.
saying the Brahmas being low in the power rankings is because of their head coach?
Yes.
Power rankings are done just for I hate them in the no fun league. I hate them there. They make no sense. I never ever take a look at power rankings. Power rankings are no fun. It's all about what the league looks like as the season progresses. Now, if I will say as the season goes on, maybe I'll take a look at the power rankings, but I'm just looking at what I see on my TV. And a lot of times, even when you watch it on television, it doesn't really tell the story. But I'm going to take my chances by watching it and seeing what it looks like, whether as somebody telling me this is why I should think that these belong on a list.
I mean, look, I agree with you. Power rankings are dumb this early in the season. You're right, Sandy. The power rankings mean nothing. Herb goes, I think we got a coaching upgrade. Look, you can say what you want. I'm not a.
They love Wade. San
They
Antonio
do. I've never
love
been a
Wade.
Wade
Thank
Phillips
you.
fan. I think that the Brahmas are going to be more of a defensive team if you go and look at their roster.
Nope.
Well, Wade is defensively minded. Then he's got AJ Smith. I mean, listen, in my opinion, they have one of the best coaching staffs. They have one of the best offensive coordinators in spring football.
Hey,
I will say that.
When I think of the Brahmas, I think of the Houston Texans in the NFL, okay? You got the defensive head coach, and you got the offensive coordinator that handles all the offense. It's
Guys,
similar.
I'm not saying Wade Phillips isn't a good coach. I'm just not a fan of Wade Phillips. I sung the praises of AJ Smith. AJ Smith is a great offensive coordinator. Great offensive coordinator, AJ Smith. Possibly, again, I will say it, possibly the best offensive coordinator in spring football.
They did good and stuff, but it's like,
I'm looking at it, right? So I'm just kind of looking at it, and like I'm looking at like the names that try to stick out to me. They have Joe. They have Flacco's brother, right?
No,
so that could be a good quarterback.
We're talking about the Brahmas, right?
Yeah, we're talking about the Brahmas.
Oh, QB1 is Quentin Dormady all day, every day.
See, right. It's got to be Quentin Dormady because I think Quentin Dormady plays to the strengths of AJ's style of play, right? They got Drew Beasley still from the outside linebacker. They got possibly, in my opinion, one of the greatest tight ends, the tight end I love in what's his name?
Cody Latimer.
Cody Latimer, from Indiana. It's just, as I scroll down and I'm trying to find some other big weapons for the offensive line or their offense and their receivers, and I'm just not seeing it.
How can you bypass John Trey Kirkland? He doesn't get hurt
That's true. You're true.
XFL season. That dude was on a rocket.
Kirkland was. You're right. He was
on a rocket. He didn't get hurt. Houston makes the playoffs.
He was.
Houston gets to the championship on behalf of Kirkland.
That's true.
Yeah. And I think they would have got past Arlington. But again, Arlington had it where they were showing that they were being a little bit tougher. You made one key piece, and you got the quarterback in Luis Perez, and that changed everything. It would have been the game would have been different than what it was then.
Oh, I agree. I agree with you. Like Jersey says right here, he goes, they should let us do the power rankings, but wait until there are more teams in the league. The power rankings are pointless with only 8 teams. Look, I'm not even going to say power rankings because we don't know how this is all going to work out. It's kind of pointless to even talk about power rankings because, it's like they always said, you can have a paper champ. Okay, so then if that's the case, then that's your number 1 team and that's your number 2 team because they're the defending champs. So there's one because they're a 2-time champion. There's number 2 because they're a 3-time champion. Then you got to go to here for number 3, right? Now, the team that those guys played are gone, so you'd probably have to go maybe here for number 4. And then, or number 4 for the Battlehawks, 5 for the Showboats. I mean, so that's what I'm saying. Because if you take this team who has Wade Phillips, then they should be higher because of where Houston finished.
All right. So guess what? You know what? Go ahead.
So
finish your point.
It's kind of pointless to even do it because I mean, here's the only thing that we do know for sure. Those are the only 2 teams that are worth the shit because they're the champions. That's it. Those are the only 2 teams. That's 1 and 2 right there. That's 1 and 2 right there. They're number 1 because they're a 2-time champ. They're number 2 because they're a 1-time champ. That's it. That's all you need to know.
All right, guess what? We're about to take a break, and in the second half of the show, we're gonna let our Facebook viewers get in on the action too, because I think Facebook is back up and running.
Are they?
All right. I got a report that they're back up.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Is anything different? So while you're doing it, well, during the break, we'll make sure.
Oh, they are back up and running.
Yeah, so we're gonna take 2 minutes, and when we come back in the second half, we're gonna bring in our guys from Facebook. All right. So we'll be back with more.
Let them tune into YouTube and our app.
We'll be back with more of the X Fan in the daytime right after this.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, and play pretend. Came off the
And welcome back to this edition of the X Fan Show.
Afternoon delight.
In the morning, in the daytime, however you want to look at it.
However you want to look at it.
Yeah, I'm A-Train, co-founder of Fuel. That gentleman over there is, oh God, do I have to really say his name?
It's Spurge, co-founder of the Fuel.
Spurge?
Co-founder of Fuel. Yes.
Spurge?
That's right. You can find us on Roku and Amazon Fire Stick. Just search Fuel Sports Network.
Get over that, man.
And you can find us on all of our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all of that good stuff. Arlington, you know, we're having our meet and greet here in St. Louis on some people call it Pi Day, some people call it 314 Day, but we're doing something very, very special here in St. Louis, and anybody is more than welcome to help us out. We are doing a Fill the Shelf starting at Ballpark Village March 14th. So bring your used, slightly used books, and we're doing it on April 6th at the Vest Lot for the St. Louis Battlehawks home opener. We are collecting new and gently used books for ages from 4 to 10 years old for a local St. Louis inner city school with their newly remodeled library. And we are hashtagging this Fill the Shelves. Cash donations are accepted where we will go and buy the books. You can scan that QR code right up there, and that's where you can donate the money. But remember, if you are going to the March 14th event at Ballpark Village, find me, Daddy Ed. I think Will Freeman's going to be there. Gene Bonds from Gateway City Sports is going to be there. Come find us. We'll be in our fuel shirts. Bring the books. Help us fill the shelves for this local inner city school. Yes.
You got it? Did you get it? You got all of it? Okay.
The hyena goes, Spurge, that has way too much
urge. No, it has urge. That's too much. It's way too much.
All right, Rick asked, he goes, Dirty, what is the question you were asking me? I was having connection problems. Well, we were talking about, are you okay with having the Houston Gamblers rebranded as the Roughnecks? Do you find any problem with that? Or are you okay with it? That was the question that was posed to you. All right, Arlington, where do we go? What do we got?
Folks, if you're on if Facebook is back up, you can catch the second half of the show on Facebook right now. You're just gonna have to go back and find it on the network. Hey, what's that, sir? Fuel Sports Network on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and of course, it's always powered by Gateway City Sports. Thank you to Wild Sun Winery and Brewing Company as sponsor for everything going on with fuel. Thank you. All right.
Go ahead, Arlington. I got to take care of something.
It says, I'm fine with it. We have the brand, and that's what we were fighting to keep. Yeah, exactly. That's correct. That's been the main thing about with the Roughneck name, because they were able to they had the fan base. That was huge. And so having to have the Houston Roughneck name is cool. But it's just that you're going to have a different team. But you kind of expected that going into the season anyway. Something was going to have to give, as we stated in the first half of the show. And I'm grateful to know that, the Houston Roughnecks are returning. You just got a whole new coaching staff. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when San Antonio comes to Houston, goes play at Houston at Rice Stadium. And it's going to be Houston's XFL team in San Antonio going against Houston's USFL team as now the Roughnecks. It's crazy, but I like it. It's a little bit of integrated chaos that's good for the UFL at this case. All right, we back up and rolling, sir. Are we good?
Yeah, I was. Somebody had sent me a message. I was, here's the thing: we're always trying to find more and more content, right? So I was making some connections with some people, and so now that Facebook's back up, they sent me the message back. So I had to send that message back to them. So sorry. Hey, we're glad we love you. We're glad you like the commercial breaks and all that. It is a good thing. Arlington, here's my thing. Because now the USFL are going to have fans in their stadium. They're going to travel to cities where they're going to have between 10 to 30,000 fans. Why'd you just flip me off? This is the afternoon show.
I wasn't trying to, sir.
You cannot do that.
I wasn't doing that, man. I was messing with my nose. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay, A-Train.
I'm not doing that to flip you off. Come on, Spurge.
I love it.
Oh, Spurge. Yuck. Yuck. But continue your point, man.
So now that they're going to have fans in the stands and they're going to be traveling, these USFL teams are going to be traveling to stadiums where they're going to have 15 to 30,000 fans. Do you think that's going to be a little intimidating for the USFL side? Or do you think, because I mean, for Birmingham, it won't be so bad because Birmingham was putting between 10 to 15, 20,000 every week in their stadium for their games, right? So it was basically, they had they played 10 games as a home game, basically. Birmingham did. Okay. Mm-hmm. But besides Birmingham, for Michigan, Memphis, and well, shit, that would be it, right? Memphis.
What you mean?
In Memphis and Michigan, because the Roughnecks had fans. So for Michigan and the Panthers, Do you think that it's going to cause some problems? And then Birmingham, with them having to travel on the road for 5 games. Do you think there's going to be some nerves for these guys, or do you think they're really going to play out? Oh, God.
Hey, y'all.
Hello,
Good morning.
Hyena.
My hands are up.
So I just had to interrupt because this Urge, whatever his name is, Spurge, whatever.
Spurge.
Oh, excuse me. He always likes to interrupt me, so I just thought I'd interrupt y'all. But most importantly, I wanted to come on because you guys get excited because we're gonna have an all-women's show coming out, and the first week we have it will be week 2. So just be on the lookout. Yeah, you're gonna see this face. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yours truly. Soon on an all-women's show. So we're going to talk all football. Yes, that's right, all football, not fashion or rhinestones. We don't do that here. So, yeah, be on the lookout. But some of us have to go to work. So I got to go.
Well, bye. We'll see you later, man. That's how you do that.
I didn't do it.
How did she get in? Arlington? Why'd you let her in?
I don't know. You gave her the keys.
She has the keys to something, but not the keys to this. So how did she get in here, Arlington? You did that on purpose.
No, I had nothing. Look, you see where my hands were, man.
Look, the rig goes, the beautiful queen in the house.
My hands are here. I didn't let her in, man.
Right. So, Arlington, do you think it's going to be a problem for these USFL teams playing in front of a crowd this year?
No, I think they want that more than anything. And they won't. If they say it, then I understand the transparency. But, I don't think
we know you have your ways.
But here's the thing. I really think that this time that they're going to want to play in front of crowds. They want to play in front of 10, 15,000. They really didn't get a chance to see what that was like during the USFL season. You playing in a hub there's nothing wrong with Canton, but I was like, they had no team, so what was the point of them being there?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not knocking Canton for what they did, but they had no team there. They had to put 2 teams from the East and put it inside and say that's who we're going to provide for you guys in Canton.
I don't think it's just going to be in St. Louis. I think everybody's going to be shocked. Because I know they're doing well in Birmingham. I know they're doing well in Arlington. I know they're definitely doing well in DC. You know what I mean? Let's see, who else? I know they're doing well in San Antonio. I know they're doing well in Houston. I know that they're doing well in Michigan. Not sure on the showboats.
Memphis has got a tough situation. Michigan also has an interesting situation with their tickets.
Well, their season tickets, let's just put it like this. Their season ticket holders was up from last year to this year.
Well, that's good.
We're up in Michigan. Memphis, you're right, is having kind of an issue because of the way that they're redoing that stadium, where they're only going to be able to have half of that stadium open.
Which I don't like that. I don't like that whatsoever, man.
I get it. But who does like it? Who does like it?
If that's the case, then that's what you were doing in Canton.
See, like right here, Wingman says, I think it's going to be a psychological advantage when it comes to those USFL teams going into St. Louis and DC.
But hold on. That's the glory part of it. That's the great
Let's really look at this about St. Louis, Arlington. Are you ready? St. Louis lost 2 home games. They lost 2 home games.
Yeah, to good teams.
To DC and Seattle, right? I honestly think, Arlington, listen, we're going to get more than 30. I can already tell you that we're going to get more than 30. It's being projected that they're going to be close to 50 for April 6th, home opener. So if you're in St. Louis and then that home opener, come visit us at the Vest Lot. You'll see our stuff. We'll be there. We are collecting books for our Field the Shelf. So come and donate your books, slightly new and slightly used books. Arlington, I'm going to go the opposite way. Okay? Because look how well the Guardians played the Battlehawks in the last game. Because they didn't really have a crowd. They didn't really have a crowd that last game. And
dude, they put up 53 points on them.
Yeah, but look how well, hold on. Look how well they played, though. Because they scored 30-something points. That's what kept the Battlehawks out of the playoffs.
Oh, okay. We going by that.
All right. I mean, listen, we had guys on here. They said, man, I always had it circled on my calendar to go to St. Louis. Because I wanted to play in front of those crowds. I wanted to show off. I mean, you saw Ben DiNucci and you saw Jay Peasy in interviews last year talking about, can't wait to go to St. Louis because I want to play in front of 30,000 plus. That gets them hyped, right? I have a feeling that a lot of these teams, these USFL teams, when they come to St. Louis, are going to be very, very hyped, and they're going to ball out. I have a feeling when they go to DC, they're going to be very, very hyped playing in front of 20,000 people. I think it's going to be, and again, Arlington, it's like I've said, I could very well easily see every single one of these teams going 500. In 90% of these games being decided by one possession or less. Because of this. That's just how I see it.
It definitely will be interesting to see what pans out when these USFL teams drop into these XFL stadiums. It's going to be interesting. Birmingham is going to get their opportunity first, right? And the Brahmas are going to, the Birmingham Stallions are going to get the first opportunity. And I know the Battlehawks are going to be playing in Michigan. So they're going to get the chance to be in front of the USFL crowd. And, of course, you got division rivals on Sunday. All right. And then on the second week, San Antonio is going to experience Memphis. The Renegades are going to get a division battle against the Battlehawks, right? You got another division with Birmingham and Michigan, and then DC is going to get its first. Houston's going to get its first test on the road in DC, so they're going to know what the beer snake is like. So that's a USFL team going up to play in the XFL stadium. All right, then let's see. Week 3 division game starts off that week, and another division one right after that with Memphis and Birmingham. The Roughnecks. So no, in week 3, all division games.
Correct.
All division games. All right, and then week 4, we're going to get to see DeFilippo and Memphis. They're going to get a taste of what the St. Louis crowd is like. DC is going to go to Birmingham to see what that crowd is like. Michigan's going to get a taste in San Antonio, and then the Renegades and Roughnecks. So you got cross promotion with XFL and USFL. So that'll be the crossover for that week is going to be pretty interesting.
Right, yeah, like right here. They were out to spoil. Orlando was a late UAB team. Hey, listen, I was at that game in St. Louis here, and that was a very exciting game. I mean, look, and everybody, we want to talk about how great St. Louis is and how good they are. St. Louis went undefeated on the road, but they lost 2 games at home. 2 pivotal games.
No, they lost 1 game.
No, they lost 2 at home, bro.
Right, and they lost 1 game to DC. Remember, they couldn't beat DC.
Oh, that's right. They did lose to DC on the road. You're right, they did. So they were 4-1 on the road. Listen, the Battlehawks made so many mistakes on the offensive line at home that it cost them those 2 games against Seattle and DC. DC, they just couldn't tackle because they were so hyped up. Arlington, we had talked to Jordan after that game, right? And Jordan says, I told these guys, listen, they're going to be loud. They're going to be crazy. They're going to be raucous, right? So he said what they did was they put headphones in their helmets and was playing their music while they were doing the game, while they were doing practice, is what they did. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, you're right. The Battlehawks did beat themselves and cause themselves to not be in the playoffs. You're right. Absolutely. So did that hurt? So that's going to be that's going to be the very, very interesting thing is when you throw these fans in here, Arlington. How is this going to work on the teams that haven't had to really play in front of that many fans? You know, like Riggs set up here, Arlington, and tell me if you agree. He goes, it gets them hyped, but that can work against them as well.
That's a fact. You know, you can be hyped for the game, but you can sit there and make all kind of mistakes during the game, which was the case in point for the Houston Roughnecks. I know I mentioned that about we mentioned about the St. Louis Battlehawks. Remember their first 5 games of the season, boy, it seemed like Houston couldn't be stopped. Then they ran into 2 road teams and they went to 73. Granted, they did make the playoffs, which was good. And I'm talking about the XFL Houston Roughneck version. But the thing was, they ran into a wall. Brandon Silvers had gotten hurt. They tried to use Cole McDonald. It wasn't the same. And they couldn't get it they couldn't do well in the playoffs. So being hyped is fine. It's just that you can't make the mistakes when you're hyped.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is mental mistakes is what's going to kill you. It's just going to be interesting to see how they do because, you know, it's going to be interesting to see when Jordan comes back to the Dome. Are they? Yeah, because DC is coming back to the Dome. Jordan's undefeated in the Dome. Jordan Ta'amu has not lost a game in the Dome. So does he come back and keep that going? Do you know? Like right here, what team? I mean, look, St. Louis technically never even had a sellout. Let's get that straight. St. Louis technically never had a sellout because they never put a cap on what our ticket sales were. They never technically had a sellout. There's only one team in the XFL that actually had true sellouts, and it's that team right there.
That team.
Because they had a cap on 20,000 seats. This team never had a cap. I understand why they want to get more and more teams in there. So other than, let's just say that St. Louis, you know, they're going to fill the Dome. Let's just say they get the 50,000, right? Because I think they're like close to that. Okay, right? Look, this team, they're not going to have a problem. They're going to get 20,000 in there.
Beer snake and all.
They're going to get 18. They're going to get 18 to 20. They'll fill that stadium. That team up there, Birmingham, I mean, they were putting 10 to 15,000 every week in their stadium. The Brahmas did good. They were averaging 10 to 15. Let's see. Arlington will do good. They average 10 to 15. All right, Arlington. Houston's going to be fine. So, again, it leaves us back to Michigan and Memphis. Out of those 2 teams, Arlington, because Jersey, that's what you're asking. I think all these teams are going to be fine except those 2 teams. Oh, Arlington.
Yes.
With everything that I know that's going on with Memphis, I'm actually going to say I have a feeling, as much as I hate to say it because I love that Memphis fan base so much, right? I'm gonna say I think Michigan's gonna be all right, and I think Memphis is going to struggle. Now, I think if Memphis has a winning team,
the only reason Memphis is going to struggle is because their stadium is being renovated.
Yeah, so they only have half their stadium. They only have.
It's going to be hard for them, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to be difficult, but as long as they can put a winner out, if they can get, I know we saying early, you know, I'm not going to even say if they can have a winning team. I'm not going to mention Birmingham having a winning team. I'm not going to mention having Michigan having a winning team. I'm not going to mention who's my other squad. I said Memphis and Houston. If Memphis has a winning team, they'll come out and support that. You can't see how they don't. Memphis has been wanting professional football there for years. Now you get an opportunity. Now you have your own stadium. You don't have to share it with anybody. This is just for you. Granted, the only problem is you're only going to get half the stadium. So you gotta work with what you got.
Where are they playing? The Liberty Bowl?
Yeah, they play there. You got to work with what you got. And at this rate, if you can make that work, and they have some success, DeFilippo's getting them boys fired up. Because, hey, what he did with New Orleans, right? What he was able to do with New Orleans, and they were a winner. They got to the playoffs. You can do the same thing with Memphis. So all is not lost, but it's going to – you just got to wait till what happens when the season starts. You know, when the season begins, everybody's 0-0. So
the Liberty Bowl is their seating capacity for the Liberty Bowl there in Michigan or in Memphis, my bad, is 58,000. So now you're talking half of that is gone. Half of that is gone, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So again, I'm going to say this. Listen, Coach DeFilippo, if you watched him on the Bottom Line, you can go back and watch that interview. I mean, dude, he gave me chills that I wanted to play for that man, put pads on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's my second favorite coach next to Anthony Beck, right? Oh, the Queen is doing Miss Tina Missouri's hair now. Good luck on that one. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. So, Arlington, I think that if they have a winning season and they get into that community like Andy is doing and how he's getting those Memphis people there into that community, I think Memphis will do fine. Because I can tell you this, they have a very great ticket sales guy that is in charge of the tickets right now, Corey Helvey. Corey Helvey did does a hell of a good job. Look at what he did in Orlando, Arlington. Look what he did in Orlando.
Right.
So I have a feeling that Memphis will be fine. You know, I think it's going to take a little bit. Though.
All right, we're about to wrap. I know we got through a lot, but we're going to have to wrap this puppy up, man. We're down to a couple minutes.
We did, didn't we?
An hour done flew on us, man. Hey, folks, make sure if you missed the show, you go to our Roku TV app. You can catch it there. We're going to get it loaded up for in rotation. Make sure you check it out there. It should be on demand as well. Hey, you can go back to YouTube. You can check it there at Fan United Experience Legion and also at Pro Football Alliance. And make sure you check out our wonderful sponsors, man, over at Wild Sun Winery and Brewing Company. And thank you to our Gateway City Sports for powering everything that's going on through Fuel. So we got to get things together. We're getting things together for you guys, and we got a lot of good that's coming forward while we're in Fuel. Anything you got to say, Dirty, before we go?
Hey, listen, if you're not a season ticket holder or anything like that, go buy your season tickets. Or not even just single tickets. Go buy if you're worried that this league's not even if you have any hesitations, go buy single game tickets. They're on sale. Go and buy your tickets. Let's support this league. Let's unite these fan bases, and let's be the fuel behind the UFL. Let's get it. And remember, March 14th, Ballpark Village from 5:30 to 8. We will be there collecting books. We'll be in the Fuel shirts. You'll see me, Daddy Ed, Will Freeman, Gene Bonds. Arlington the A-Train has a prior engagement. The Hyena has a prior engagement. But come find us, donate the new or gently used books. If you want, Arlington, it's all over, plastered all over our Facebook and stuff. Scan that QR code. You can donate money to where we will go out and buy the books if you don't want to bring them to Ballpark Village. Other than that, Arlington, I got to say, that's it. I'm good.
Bye. See y'all next
week. You're not gonna
Hit for my win, I need my hands. This life is real, don't play pretend.